"Stop breathing like a pig," Dad said. Mom laughed. "Finally, you look as cheap as your life." I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I wiped the blood and made sure they would never laugh again. I woke to the sound of glass shattering, except it wasn't the floor it hit, it was my face. A sting, a warmth, my vision blurred red. Dad's shadow loomed above me, his breath heavy with whiskey. Mom sat in the doorway, arms crossed, smirking like it was a show she'd bought tickets for. They didn't see fear in my eyes that night. They saw calculation. It wasn't always like this. Once they were my protectors. I used to wait by the window for Dad to come home, thinking his footsteps meant safety. I used to believe Mom's laughter was joy, not cruelty disguised as humor. But I learned early, in this house, love was a weapon. Affection came with sharp edges. At first I told myself they were just tired, stressed. The insults started small, the punishments smaller, until smaller became a bruise on my ribs, until smaller became the sound of my jaw clicking when I chewed. The night of the glass wasn't the first time they hurt me, but it was the first time I stopped being their victim. Lying there, blood soaking my pillow, I realized something. People like them don't stop until someone stops them, and I would. I didn't fight them head on. That's how you lose. I became quiet, agreeable, harmless. I laughed at Dad's jokes, flinched on cue, thanked Mom for her honesty. They thought I'd broken. What I'd really done was disappear into the walls of their lives, watching, listening, learning. Dad liked control. He liked money more. Mom liked status. She liked the neighbors thinking we were perfect. Perfect was easy to break if you knew where to press. I started with the accounts. Dad was careless with his passwords. Mom never logged out of her email. I learned about the offshore savings, the credit lines, the debt they hid from each other. I copied everything, every number, every transfer. Then I waited. The fights between them were already frequent. I made them worse. An anonymous tip to Dad about a man Mom was meeting. A message to Mom with proof Dad was moving money without telling her. They tore into each other. Next, I called in favors. Mrs. Gray across the street worked at the child welfare office. Mr. Lee, 2 doors down, was a reporter who hated bullies. I made sure they both knew, without knowing it was me, that my parents liked to discipline their child with broken objects. The collapse started small. Dad's company called him in over financial irregularities. Mom got a visit from an investigator about an anonymous child abuse report. The neighbors stopped waving. They didn't know I was behind it. Not yet. The night I ended it, I invited them to dinner. Family night, I said. I cooked their favorites. They came, tense but curious. Halfway through the meal, I placed 2 envelopes on the table. One had photos, Dad with his secretary, Mom with her bruises on me. The other had bank statements, transfers, and offshore account numbers. Their faces drained as they realized the other was seeing everything too. "Where did you get these?" Dad demanded. "You don't need to know," I said. Mom's voice shook. You did this?" I smiled. "I made sure the world sees you the way I do." By the time the police knocked, I'd already called the press. By the time the neighbors gathered on the street, Dad was in cuffs for fraud. Mom was screaming at reporters, mascara running. And I stood in the doorway, calm, bloodless this time. I didn't stay to watch them drive away. Justice isn't in the spectacle, it's in the silence after. The house was quiet for the first time in years. I could hear my own breathing, steady and unafraid. They thought they'd taught me fear. They taught me patience. And patience is what killed them, long before the law did. I still breathe loudly sometimes, not because I have to, because I can.